But regardless, no matter which one of these 4 aspects of progressive overload that you want to go about, that you actually want to implement in your training, none of them are going to make a damn difference if you're not actually pushing to the point where you feel discomfort. Progressive overload is literally adding stress to the muscle. You should be able to feel that stress. It doesn't matter if you go from 100 pounds to 105 pounds next week. It doesn't matter if you're going from 10 reps to 11 reps next week. It doesn't matter if you're doing 3 sets to 4 sets next week. It doesn't matter if you're going normal pace to fast pace next week. If by next week, everything still feels easy. What's up everyone, David here. We got a new video for y'all today, but before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. So you heard it here first, folks. Even if you go to the gym every day, even if you lift weights every day, assuming that your diet is 100% on point, you are not going to see results unless you are prioritizing this one important aspect. But before we get into it, I want to tell a couple quick stories. Back when I was a personal trainer, I had quite a few clients who had already come to me saying, yeah, I've been hitting the gym for a couple weeks, I've been hitting the gym for a couple of months, but I'm not seeing the results that I want. That's why I want a personal trainer. I want to take it to the next level. Why is it that I'm not getting the result? Why am I not losing weight? Why am I not building muscle? Why am I not getting stronger? I'm like, all right, let's analyze. Let's see a little bit of your training, see what's going on. When I first met my girlfriend, she came over here to work out, and obviously she had the goal of wanting to build muscle. Same thing. Like, I'm pushing hard right here, but not quite the results that I want. I mean, if you look at her from when we first met up until what I've gotten her now, you can tell she's packed on pounds and pounds of muscle, which is good. That's what we want. But what was it that got her from being relatively smaller built to now, you know, scrumptious, the hourglass figure all my clients have had in the past? What has gotten them from working out for months, apparently not seeing any results, to all of a sudden slapping on muscle? It's the one important thing that if you want to see results, you have to absolutely emphasize in the gym every single training session to build muscle. Again, this is just primarily to build muscle. If your goal is to lose weight, build strength, okay, that may be something a little different, could apply, but for building muscle, hypertrophy, biceps from right here to right here, chest from right here to right here, I'm talking about just loading on pounds of muscle, getting big, filling our clothes, you need progressive overload. For those who don't know, progressive overload pretty much is the gradual increase of stress on a muscle. Pretty much, what does that mean? It means pushing your muscle past its limits, making it feel uncomfortable, going past the point of discomfort, getting those last few reps in, adding a little bit more weight, you know, messing with the speed, slowing it down a little, you know, just pushing a little harder than what you normally do, so that way the muscle has no choice but to force itself to grow. So there are many different ways that you can go about progressive overload. Pretty much what you have to do here is you just have to increase some parameter of training. Now, what are the different parameters of training? We got sets, we got reps, we got tempo, so the time that you're doing the rep, we got weight. There's so many different ways that you can change up the training so that way you can progressively overload the muscle. And we're gonna be breaking down each one by one, going in great detail. So the first one obviously is gonna be weight. I feel like that's the number one thing that people assume when it comes to progressive overload. All right, week 1, bench press 100 pounds, no big deal. All right, week 2, let's throw on 5 more pounds. All right, now I'm doing 105 pounds. Next, week 3, 110, and you just keep adding little by little, a couple weights here, a couple weights there. Over time, you're building it up. And yes, although that will give you results, that's not the only way to do progressive overload. Is it the easiest? Probably, because I mean, it's always easier just to load up a bunch of weight. But here's the thing, eventually you're gonna get to a point where you can't add any more weight. All right, there's only so many weeks in a row where you can add 5 pounds, 10 pounds, going so on and so forth. What happens if you continue to add weight? Well, eventually, if you can't lift it, the risk of injury goes up, the form might not be all there. I mean, you can't always just rely on weight. Although it's probably the easiest way to measure progressive overload, it's not the only way. That's what's gonna lead us to the next one, and I'm talking about reps. Now, when it comes to repetitions in any given set, there's a lot of, back and forth. How many reps am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be doing this many to build muscle? Am I supposed to be doing this many to build muscle? If I do this many, is it really training for strength because it's lower reps? Or is it this many reps, but that's more like training for endurance? When it comes to building muscle, I mean, they've been showing you can go up to 30 reps and still build muscle in a given set. What matters is that however many reps that you do in one set, or any set in general, as long as you're pushing close to failure, then you'll see results. So if I were to do a set of 12, I'll build muscle assuming that 12th rep was difficult enough to the point where I can say, yeah, I only had 1 or 2 more reps left in the tank. I can do up to 27, 28, 29 reps and I'll still see results, as long as assuming that 29th rep was still roughly 1 or 2 reps close to failure. So you see, rep count, don't overcomplicate it. As long as you're pushing close to failure with each set, then you'll still see results with these different types of rep ranges. Now, for progressive overload, let's go back to the bench press example. 100 pounds for 10 reps. Next week, instead of adding on more weight, okay, no, how about we try 100 pounds for 11 reps? The following week, 100 pounds for 12 reps. You see, little by little, you can keep the weight the same, but if you're doing more and more reps, then that's a good measure of progress. Again, that is still progressive overload because you're still forcing the muscle to grow. It's going past its comfort point. If its new benchmark is 100 pounds for 10 reps, all right, next week, you got to get past that mark. The muscle is going to be burning. You got to fight through that. You're going to be getting that 11th rep. It's going to force the muscle to do something that it's not normally used to. See where I'm getting at? Now, there's a couple different ways that you can go about adding more reps. Let's just say, yeah, you did the 100 pounds for 10 reps, but even if you force yourself to do the 11th, there's no guaranteeing that you can get it all the way up. Let's just say you go halfway, you start shaking, struggle, and then you go back down. No, this is the case where it would be good for some assisted reps or forced reps, however you want to say it. Have a spotter behind you. Once you get all the reps by yourself, have your spotter help give you a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a spot, so you can get those last few reps in. Same thing, if you're doing a curl, okay, let's go 8, 9, 10, you can't get it up anymore? All right, no big deal. Have the spotter lift the bar, give you a little bit of assistance to get just a couple more reps in. Again, that's forcing the muscle to adapt. You're adding an extra stimulus that your body is not used to. Your muscle, oh my God, what's happening? It's forcing me to lift this? All right, I better adapt. I better get stronger, or else next time I do this, I'm not gonna be able to. See, forced and assisted reps, depending if you have a spotter, you can definitely go about it. Also, another thing to get a couple more reps in, drop sets. And this goes hand in hand with the weight that we previously talked about. Next, let's just say leg extensions. All right, you're kicking your legs out, getting as many reps as you can, and you give out. You did as many as you can with that weight. All right, no big deal. Take off some of the weight and boom, continue on. Extend the set, get a couple more reps in. Again, all of that is added stimulus that the muscle is being thrown at that you just have no choice, but the muscle has to adapt. It's got to get used to this new benchmark that you're setting it to. So again, reps, another great way for progressive overload. What do we call a group of reps? We call it a set. Now, it's gonna be a possible way of how you can incorporate or measure progressive overload over time. Let's just say, again, you're doing the bench press for 100 reps. All right, good, you did it for 1 set. Rest up, keep the weight the same. All right, let's get it for a 2nd set. All right, I got another 10. Okay, rest up. Now let's go again. 3rd set of 10, 100. All right, and let's just say on that 4th set, nah, you couldn't do it. You just burnt out, you only got 3 reps. Okay, but the following week, you were able to do that 4th set for all 10 reps. That goes to show you, you can keep the weight the same, you can keep the reps the same, but if you can add an extra set at the end, that goes to show you're making progress. That muscle is getting bigger, that muscle is getting stronger, and that's a great way to measure progressive overload without even having to change the weight. You don't have to add anything, without manipulating the rep scheme. You don't have to worry about, should I do 1 more, 2 more? No, just sets. Great way to measure progressive overload. And lastly, we got tempo. So this is another thing, and this goes hand in hand with the sets and reps. Let's just say normally you did a set of curls for 3 sets of 10, and you're just going about it, you are going full range of motion. No big deal, all the way up, all the way down. What most people don't know is that the eccentric portion of a movement is absolutely crucial to optimize when it comes to building up as much muscle as you can. What does that mean? Well, realistically, we got 3 different ways that the muscle contract. We got concentric, which means the muscle is shortening. So think about, actually, that's the hard portion of the lift. That's actually getting the weight up. So on a curl, it would be on the way up. Bench press, it would be on the way up. Squat, it'd be on the way up. Typically the part where you start shaking and struggling. eccentric is the lengthening, is when you let down the weight. The muscle is stretching out. It's on a bench press. It's on the way down, squat on the way down, curl on the way down. The muscle is stretching out. And then lastly, we got isometric, which just means you're forcing the muscle to contract, but it's staying in the same position. The joint isn't actually moving. So technically, when you get pinned on a bench press and you're stuck right here, you're really doing an isometric, because I mean, the bar's not going anywhere. The eccentric portion, the lengthening, going the way down, slow it down. That's the way you're gonna manipulate the tempo, all right? Slow, take your time. Yes, you got it up, but don't just let it down like this. Don't just let gravity do all the work. No, you control it on the way down. I like to point out, Dr. Mike Israetel, Renaissance Periodization. I recently came across his face. He is a real big advocate of the eccentric contraction, eccentric control, and for good reason. You want to optimize your muscle building capacity. You want to make as much gains as possible. You definitely need to control the eccentric. You're leaving a lot on the table if you don't. If you just let the weight down on its own, let gravity do all the work for you, then buddy, you are not going to be seeing as much results as you would normally. You will still see results if you just go about it normally, but if you want to take to the next level, slow on the way down. Now that's a great way for progressive overload. Think about it. I did 3 sets of 10 on curls, no big deal. But now, how about I slow it down and I can still get 10 reps for all sets with the same weight? Tell me the muscle is not gonna get better. Tell me the muscle is not gonna get bigger and stronger. That's a great way for progressive overload. You don't have to change the weight. You don't have to change the reps. You don't have to change those sets. No, keep everything the same, but this time slower on the way down. What normally you would have done for 3 sets of 10 on curls at a normal pace, now you can do 3 sets of 10 with the same weight, but now you're actually going slow on the way down for each rep. Oh, buddy, the results you're gonna get, night and day difference. There you have it, everyone. Those are just 4 ways that you can go about progressive overload. Again, we have changing up the weights, changing up the reps, changing up the sets, and changing the speed of the reps. But regardless, no matter which one of these 4 aspects of progressive overload that you want to go about, that you actually want to implement in your training, none of them are going to make a damn difference if you're not actually pushing to the point where you feel discomfort. Progressive overload is literally adding stress to the muscle. You should be able to feel that stress. It doesn't matter if you go from 100 pounds to 105 pounds next week. It doesn't matter if you're going from 10 reps to 11 reps next week. It doesn't matter if you're doing 3 sets to 4 sets next week. It doesn't matter if you're going normal pace to fast pace next week. If by next week, everything still feels easy. Let's just say me personally, if I do 100 pounds for 10 reps, I'm not really gonna feel anything on bench press because I'm way stronger than that. It doesn't matter if even next week I change up the weight and I go 105 for 10 reps, I'm still not gonna feel a difference because for my strength level, for where I'm at, that is not enough of a load for me to feel anything or any benefit. I'm not gonna be getting a pump, nah. So regardless of what you do, if you're not actually pushing yourself, you are not gonna be seeing results. You gotta get comfortable being uncomfortable. That moment when it starts burning, don't stop. That's how you know you're pushing yourself. You gotta get, it's gonna hurt, don't get me wrong. It doesn't feel good. You gotta work for the results that you want. So just wanna put that out there. Hopefully this video was helpful. Comment down below if it was. Also, comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diet, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'll be more than happy to help y'all out. And then be sure to subscribe not just to this channel, but my girlfriend's channel and a couple's channel so you don't miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos every week across the board for all 3 channels. For this channel specifically, new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And for Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on my accounts, girlfriend accounts, couples accounts. I put all the links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.